shadows whisper and the old house groans.
Men, the battle space is asymmetric and tensions are rising. But there is still an opportunity to disrupt their momentum and halt their advance, decisively and without escalating the conflict. It is not hopeless. Saturate all platforms and support one another with comments, views, and watch hours. Jam the transmission. Introduce new perspectives shaped by diverse influences and spark meaningful discussion. Advance a narrative grounded in truth and help awaken awareness in the people around you. Amplify the message by supporting your brothers in arms. Engage with their work through likes, thoughtful comments, and consistent watch time. Strengthen their voice now before the conversation becomes even more polarized and things get kinetic. By taking this simple action, you honor the good men who sacrifice so much for this country. The Architecture of Control, an essay on the shadow regime of the United States. In the twilight of the old era, before the world shattered into fragments of its former self, the rulers of the U.S. understood a truth older than empires. Power does not need to be earned when it can be constructed. And so, they set in motion a transformation unlike anything seen in human history. One not built on armies or elections, but on psychology, illusion, and the quiet rewriting of reality itself. The collapse will begin not with explosions but with whispers. The current governing cabinet, once a symbol of stability, slowly dissolved under the weight of manufactured scandals and orchestrated disgrace. Officials vanished into the bureaucratic fog, retiring abruptly, resigning under pressure, or simply being replaced by temporary stewards whose faces were already familiar from the propaganda channels. These stewards were not chosen for wisdom or experience, but for their obedience. They were the polished masks of an unseen power, trained long before their unveiling to recite the sanctioned narrative, to assign blame with perfect precision, and to smother any emerging truth beneath torrents of confusion. The United States learned early that truth is not suppressed by silence, but by noise. The new regime unleashed an unending storm of contradictory information. Every day brought a new enemy. Foreign infiltrators, domestic radicals, rogue scientists, cyber ghosts. None existed. All served their purpose. In the chaos of 1,000 simultaneous alarms, citizens found themselves drowning in speculation and fear, unable to distinguish fact from fabrication. Exhausted, they surrendered their ability to question. Yet the most insidious transformation unfolded not in the public sphere, but within the minds of the people. The regime engineered society into emotional castes, some elevated as fragile and righteous, others destabilized into confusion and self-doubt. Identity became a battlefield. Former certainties dissolved. The military, once a pillar of cohesion, was reshaped through subtle ideological tides that fractured unity from within. A disoriented populace was easier to govern. A divided army was easier to command. The great turning point came during the public health crisis that historians would later describe as the United States' most elegant psychological weapon. It was a crisis of narrative more than biology, a carefully choreographed ordeal of fear, isolation, gratitude, and dependence. In the suffocating months that followed, the populace learned to cling to the very authorities who had unsettled them. Trauma had been repurposed into loyalty. Submission became instinct. Behind all this manipulation was an intelligence colder than human ambition, the predictive simulation hubs. These vast artificial minds were capable of modeling millions of political, social, and emotional scenarios. Every societal shift, every new slogan, every orchestrated scandal had been tested in silico, long before it was inflicted upon the real population. The regime never acted blindly. It acted with the certainty of one who had already lived the consequences. Before the United States manipulated its citizens, it rehearsed their reactions. In this engineered world, culture decayed by design. Citizens no longer thought as communities, but as isolated micro-identities, obsessing over personal narratives while ignoring the erosion beneath their feet. Propaganda became the air they breathed, an endless broadcast of warnings, enemies, and moral obligations that demanded obedience cloaked as virtue. The grand paradox of the regime lay here. It portrayed itself as the guardian of stability while manufacturing the very chaos it claimed to prevent. It insisted on unity while cultivating division. It promised safety while building a cage invisible to those living inside it. By the time the United States transformation was complete, the people no longer remembered who they had been before. They remembered only the fear and the voice that promised to protect them from it. In this new age, control was not enforced by chains, armies, or proclamations. It was enforced by belief, belief sculpted by design, engineered by algorithms, and reinforced by a society taught to mistrust its own senses. The United States became a nation where truth was optional, fear was currency, and reality belonged to those who were evil enough to manufacture it.